especially for a guy, young guys in their early 20s. And, I'm glad that, I could tune in and, listen to you guys.
Spencer Kobren's The Bald Truth.
What's happening, people? Phone number is 888-659-3727. Welcome to the broadcast. And yes, we're calling this a broadcast. I still don't understand. I mean, how is podcast, the word podcast, grandfathered into live streams, into the reality that this is how people broadcast.
Yeah.
Everything is streamed. Everything's online. There's no more cable, per se, either. It's all streamed online. Every news organization, every broadcast organization, they all have apps. And there's the radio that's still there. There's some local television.
How network television still exists blows my mind.
Yeah, network television is still existing through the airwaves. But as far as podcasting is concerned, when's the last time, I mean, I don't know if anyone still does this, took the time to download a show from the internet into their iPod?
Who has an iPod?
I think Bill Maher still has an iPod for his music. He's stuck on that.
Actually, yeah, he actually said that recently. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, honestly, man, I know that it's kind of become part of the vernacular. People don't want to change that. It's part of the nomenclature, as they would say in medicine and maybe in law. But I don't want to call what we do a podcast. And I don't want to call what I plan to do in the next couple of weeks a podcast either. So just deal with it. Here's the thing. In order for the stuff to get found, you're going to have to somehow put podcast in the description.
Well, this is actually being talked about yesterday. I think it was on Rogan, or I saw a clip yesterday where it was talked about on Rogan where I think that's what it was, where they're talking about the Emmys and podcasting is a category. Yeah. And he's like, who the hell podcasts anymore? Podcasting hasn't, he goes, I remember, he goes, oh yeah, he was addressing the controversy that, he's number one and has been for at least 6 years, and he wasn't even nominated. And he said, it's not because we weren't nominated, it's because we didn't, he goes, I actually, you have to submit, or someone has to submit on your behalf.
It's like every contest out there.
It costs $500 just to fill out the paperwork. And he thought to himself, why do I need to? I don't care about this. I'm obviously number one based on rankings.
He already won.
They want me to pay $500.
He already won in everything.
Yeah, he's won at everything. But the point is, he was talking about, why does anyone even call it a podcast anymore? Because years ago,
are you sure that was him? Because I watch Rogan all the time.
It may not have been, but it was one of his boys was talking about podcasting and how
not on the Rogan broadcast.
Well, I don't know.
I'm asking you because I thought I just came up with an original idea.
No,
and now you're effing it all up.
See, it comes back. It's all about you.
Yes.
No, this is reinforcing the brilliance of your idea, that these mountains of or these titans of entertainment and broadcasting fame have the same ideas about this as you do. That's what this is about. But the point being is that they're saying no one calls it a podcast anymore, or they mistakenly call it a podcast because 10 years ago or when so-and-so got started, they were scoffing at the idea of video. It's like, well, it's not a real podcast. And now everyone's doing video and they're still calling it a podcast. So is it a podcast? Is it a live stream? Is it a broadcast like you're saying? I've been calling it a live stream for mostly. I call it a podcast.
Well, I remember before it was a podcast event, there was something called Blog World. And I was asked to speak at Blog World. I was there with the guys from Queens Network. We had a booth. It was very interesting. And I kept calling what we do and what I did once I got off radio a broadcast. And people were correcting me. And I'm like, I don't even upload it to Apple or whatever you guys are uploading it to. I just do a live stream. It's a broadcast.
Yeah.
Anyway, enough of that. How's my hair?
It's weird. Looking good.
Thank you.
Yeah. Can see more of it now. Your microphone's out of the way, so that helps.
Yeah, I mean, was it actually my microphone actually covering my head? I mean, come on, Joseph.
Of course it was. No,
My head? How would it cover my head?
It wasn't covering your head?
It was covering probably my chin and part of my face.
It distracted from your head. It was like this.
I see. Your hair's looking good, by the way. Guys, phone number is 888-659-3727. We have a full board. I actually have to leave early today. I have a meeting. Yes, I'm working at about 4:30, so I have to do a short broadcast today. We'll get to your calls.
This is the third case in a week that I've been hearing from about the same doctor, where not the exact same outcome, but similar.
Yeah,
and it's interesting. The caller from last week that was talking about him, he went to my subreddit, which is r/hair transplant mentor, and he posted about it. And 3 days later, there were 7 spam notifications that it was a spam post, all within the same minute. Because as a moderator, I can see, when a spam notification is sent, and it's someone complaining about a post saying it's spam, it's spam, it's spam. So someone was sitting there 7 times in 1 minute, saying that the post was spam. Gee, I wonder who that was. So,
Did you know that at one point on my Wikipedia, somebody was able to get on there that I had a hair transplant by Brett Bolton?
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do. Crazy.
What a world.
Like the idea that to even do stuff like that is I don't know. Do they think it's ethical, or do they give a shit? I don't know. But this whole thing is a great segue into today's topic. Do we have a caller on hold?
We do.
Okay.
And
go ahead. Have them wait. And I know you got to go.
Yeah, caller, hold on for a second. Joe would like to say something here.
Yeah, well, I want to just explain the topic of today's show. So today I was on Hair Loss Cure 2020, and
I love that site.
I saw one of the best websites for hair loss. So, and I saw this dude on the homepage. I'm like, he looks familiar. Who is that? And it's Landon Donovan, the pro soccer player, retired, arguably one of the best soccer players to ever kick the ball. And full disclosure, I had no idea who he was because I don't follow soccer. I couldn't care less about soccer. But the idea or the story behind him was he'd been fighting hair loss all of his life, or all of his adult life. And apparently, I got mixed information on this. According to Anand, he actually texted me while we're on air about this. He's talked about having several hair transplants. I didn't see that. I just saw the one. I was just skimming the information. He had one in 2024, and that's what got him famous for hair. And he was on one of the Fox Sports programs, and he was on camera live, and the back of his head was still shaved out, fresh from surgery.
It's a good look.
It was a good look. The areas above his ears weren't shaved, and the occipital donor wasn't shaved, just the back. So it was a strange geometric pattern cut out. And his buddy had talked to him in text messages saying, "What the hell's going on?" And Landon Donovan says, "Dude, you told me that the haircut would be okay on camera. It wouldn't show." And so he's like, can I share this exchange on social media? And Landon Donovan's like, "Go for it. I deserve it." Apparently, because he felt like he deserved it for being stupid. I feel bad for the guy. And this isn't to slam the hair transplant. Nothing he's doing is to bring to light the fact that even celebrities can have failed hair transplants. What I mean by failed hair transplant, well, you fast forward a year and he doesn't have really any growth on his scalp. I did search. There's no mention of the clinic or doctor that did the surgery. And again, it's not about that. It's about the fact that even, these people that have resources that the average person doesn't have, people they can talk to, money they can spend, it fails for them too. And you look at him now, and he's actually partnered with a company called ABSky. He pronounces it ABSky. It looks to me like it would be ABSky, but whatever. And it's a pharmaceutical company that's working on some sort of hair rejuvenation injection that just started phase 1 trials, I believe at the Rodney Sinclair Clinic in Australia. And I went to their website, and there's Landon Donovan wearing a hair system. And it looks good.
Well, you know that he came out on Instagram saying that he was wearing a hair system.
No, I don't know that because I don't know anything about the guy. But here he is on YouTube.
I'm talking. When I say that, I'm just trying to explain it to you that. Go ahead, Joe.
No, I get it. But he's on YouTube talking about it, and he is talking about the fact that he's had a hair transplant and he switched to a system. The one thing I will critique, though, is ABSky on their website says that they just started phase 1 and they expect a hair treatment in the next couple of years, and that's impossible. Just saying. So I didn't really appreciate the way they were trying to push their potential product. Just now starting their studies, but
it's very possible that if they decide to put it on the market as a cosmetic product,
there is that. Yeah,
they can do.
There is that. But regardless, and then we have the caller from Ohio that had a similar situation where he had one surgery and everything went to shit. And I feel so bad for the guy. And
well, I think it's interesting that there is this false narrative online that just go to Turkey, bro. That's a big false narrative. But essentially that this is something that can just be easily fixed. And the reality that, and I say this, I repeat myself constantly, but that hair transplant surgery is the most elegant, nuanced, and difficult procedure to perform well out of every cosmetic surgery procedure for several reasons. One being that you are essentially dealing with a moving target.
Yeah.
And unless all the stars are aligned, unless you have been able to stop the progression of your hair loss or slow it down at least using medication, unless you've had stable donor for a long time, unless you have the right doctor, surgeon, and surgical staff, and every link in that chain has to be perfect, just about, there's a chance you're going to get fucked up.
Yeah.
And it's happening to literally thousands of men every day. As we speak, there's a bunch of sad sacks in hotel rooms or at buffets overseas walking around with bandages on their heads, thinking they just did something positive for themselves, not knowing that even if it turns out okay in a year, maybe they're going to have 2 years of enjoyment out of it until they have to either think they have to get another surgery, that's called a top-up, but in reality, they don't realize that they were never candidates to have these many grafts moved, that most hair transplant surgeries really need to be done in very specific stages, especially if you're starting young. And after each session, you have to kind of reassess and say, okay, the grafts seem to be growing robustly after the second year, or whatever, a year and a half. Medications were continuing to work. Maybe in another year, I could be a candidate for another 2,000 grafts. But no one wants to think that way. Mm-hmm. And no doctor is telling you this. There are doctors who will. I said this to someone at the Times this week. Almost every young man under the age of 30 who's having a large session FUE hair transplant today will be effed within 48 months. Or things are going to diminish. That's just the reality of this game now. We hit a logical endpoint in this field, I would say, around 2006, where we knew that FUT surgery done well was truly state-of-the-art on the right candidate. And we now had, at that time, very refined FUE surgery. More and more physicians doing it well, with their teams doing it well. So there are more options to have a really great result, a long-term result, especially if someone was doing a hybrid. Everything has moved backwards now. The pendulum has swung back, and in my view, it's worse than ever. Good night. All right, let's see who this is real fast. Hey, you're on the air. Who's this and where are you calling from?
Hey, this is Drew from Ohio.
Drew, what's happening, brother?
Hey, Drew.
Hey, it's been maybe 6 months since I talked to you guys last.
At least.
Yeah, it's probably been around there.
Okay. What's going on?
So
What's the latest?
Got some I got some updates on the hair transplant journey. I talked to a lot of people on Joe's list. Jerry Cooley, I had a consultation with him. I also had a consultation with Aaron Nessenbaum and Shannon Weaver. So some conflicting things, but better than working with Haber. I guess Haber got removed off of his board he was on.
I don't know if he's removed. I think it's just, it's a transition. What board are you talking about?
Yeah, something. I don't know. So I think there was something on a couple of hair loss boards I was reading on Reddit that he had gotten removed from there. I don't know. The guy, one of the patients wasn't happy with his results, but
removed from what? Like something like the network or something?
No, the Reddit list.
Yeah.
You know what's okay? So I got to say something.
That's maddening.
You know what's maddening about that list is the guy that started it swears up and down it's not a recommended list. It's simply a list of doctors that have reviews online that are by patients. And speaking of Haber, I don't really recall any. I'm sure there are some, but they certainly aren't plentiful. That's for sure. But the situation is, okay, it's not a recommended list. These are just doctors that we've looked at that have, any number of patients that have, presented their results independently. But they won't put doctors on this that have bad reviews, even one, and if one gets one, then they take them off. So it's either a recommended list or it's not a recommended list. You can't have it both ways, which they're trying to do.
And let me say this, and I agree with Joe 100%. I don't like Bob Haber. I don't think he's a great guy, but he's been known to be a really great hair transplant surgeon, or at least a very good hair transplant surgeon.
I'd say competent. Yeah.
Yeah, competent. Okay. He's good at what he does. He's been doing it for a long time. And again, I'm going to repeat this. I don't like the guy. But you can't take away what is true about him. He's helped a lot of hair loss sufferers. He's been doing this for a very long time. So for anyone to say any differently, especially on Reddit, it's ridiculous. Everyone has unhappy patients. That's the way that it is. And did I say I didn't like the guy? Go ahead.
No. My experience when I was there was that, I'll call it, his assistant. After my consultation with him, she basically was saying that she didn't think that I needed it, and that I should that she wouldn't be, sad to see me go if I didn't come back.
I think that's pretty
maybe I'm
responsible.
Who was this? Haber's assistant?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not trying to
he
sell
was
you
recommending
surgery. They're like,
at that-
well, you don't need it.
Either that
He was
or they
recommending
realize
it
that you're too picky for their abilities.
That's actually a good point.
Possibly. Yeah, because he was recommending like a hybrid approach to be, appropriate,
Fucking
like what you
hybrid.
guys were talking about with the top up down the line.
Yeah. Fucking
But
hybrid.
it was unsettling after, that talk that I had with her because I was talking to him for a while for the consultation, and then she kind of came back in and was like, "Hey, get out of here." I was like, "Okay." So.
Quick, go out the back door so no one sees you. Run like the wind. Never come back. Flee.
Well,
But
pretty much,
it does make me angry.
I did go out a back door, actually.
It does make me angry that there's some sort of a whatever it is. It's just this free for all out there, and they're making these claims against these doctors, or saying that this guy's good, this guy's not good, or he was good, but he's got one complaint. Look, I would never.
Well,
Because I think this guy's such an asshole, I would never work with him ever again. But he's a good doctor, so
yeah, I think he was removed though from whatever board he was a part of. Like he was suspended. And I checked on there, and it does say on that forum, it's a hair loss forum. It's not Reddit though. If he's actually suspended from it. Like there's a list of recommended. I can't think of the name of the list off the top of my head.
are you talking about the Hair
But
Transplant
that-
Network?
I think that's right.
That is rich, brother.
That is rich.
It always comes
Yeah,
around to
wow.
bite these guys in the ass, man.
It really does.
I never forget. I had a
But it-
conversation with Haber
but it fed,
many years ago about
This is good.
a situation
this.
that was going on. Showed him all of this
Yeah.
stuff, and he's like, "Well, essentially,
He's talking-
they get me leads."
He's talking ROI,
yeah.
all this bullshit.
He's like, "There's a great return on investment," and this. I'm like, "Return on investment? What are you talking about? You asked me. You wanted to know the information about what's going on behind the scenes on these message forums. I'm showing you, and you're just basically saying, I don't really care what goes on. I don't care if people kill somebody." He didn't say that. As long as I get leads, I'm good. And it all comes back to bite him in the ass. That is fucking rich.
he gets suspended.
Well, after seeing that, it gave me confidence I made the right choice
Yeah.
to walk away from it.
It's interesting.
fast
real
forward
quick,
now-
real quick. I'll let you get back. But why did so the assistant was contradicting Dr. Haber? He was saying, yeah, we can do a surgery. We'll do a hybrid or whatever he's saying. And then he left. She came back in and said,
Yeah.
"Get out, leave, run."
Essentially that was what happened, and he was nowhere to be seen after we left the office. The lights were off.
Interesting.
She took me out, like you said, a back door, literally. She goes, "We won't be sad if I don't see you." She says,
Yeah.
I think, if for what you got going on, I think it's fine. I mean, could you do a little better? Sure, but I wouldn't mess with it. Have a good day."
I like
I
her.
was like, wow.
God bless her. Yeah.
Yeah.
She probably just saved you, honestly.
And Shannon Weaver, when I talked to her, I, sent her the photos. We spoke over the phone, had a consultation. And
Sorry,
she said
who?
that she thought it would be on
Who Sharon Weaver?
Shannon. Oh no, I'm
Sharon
sorry, I said
Keene.
the wrong name. It's Shannon.
Okay, no, yeah,
Keene,
Sharon Keene,
Arizona,
yeah,
right?
yeah, Sharon Keene.
Yeah.
Sure.
And I'm sorry, I got that. So, anyways, she said she thought it would be unethical to work on me.
Wow.
Now,
yeah, she's pretty straight
when I
up.
get
Like,
to-
yeah,
Jerry, who I know is pretty good in the business, Jerry said that, he could do an FUT, 2,500 grafts, should be good. If he wants me to go in the crown, we can. And then I did speak to Aaron, and Aaron said he could do the FUE, and he's comfortable with this, artist robot. So now I'm just kind of torn between the two of those guys, I think, to be the way I want to go.
Well, here's the thing. That's
But
why
I'm
they
just
call it.
not-
That's why they call it the practice of medicine. So you're speaking to all, really, some of the best doctors in this field, and 2 out of 4 said that they wouldn't do surgery on you, or 1 out of 4, but one's assistant said, get out of here. So that's interesting. The other 2 think that you would make a reasonable candidate. So you kind of have a split decision. But the 2 guys that said that you're a reasonable candidate they're really ethical guys too. So it's curious to me. It's interesting.
Yeah, they had like slightly different graph counts when I spoke to them, but different approaches. But my major concern, this is the thing I can't seem to like put the right words to, or however you want to say it, but I'm on dutasteride. I've been bumped up through dermatologists up to like 1 milligram. So I'm taking 2 capsules of the name brand Avodart. Low dose oral minoxidil, I've been bumped up from the 1.25. I think I'm up to 5. And my dermatologist says if you really want to get, carried away, we can go to 10. But I don't think I'm going to move past 5. I think I'm pretty confident. I've been lucky I haven't had any side effects.
And how are you doing? And I have to run in a second, but how are you doing overall with the medication?
Oh, fine. I just don't think about having any side effects. Like, I think that seems to help. I don't try to, like, I heard you can kind of talk yourself into side effects if you're looking for them.
Well, it's called the nocebo effect.
Will kind of do.
It's called nocebo effect.
Yeah,
and especially when it comes to sex, it's easy to do that. If you think about it, even if you don't take medication, like if you're nervous, performance anxiety, first time you're with somebody, you won't be able to get it up. That's just the reality of it. As soon as it goes into your mind, it's an issue. That's how your body works.
Yeah.
So, you're
I
smart.
started medication
Go ahead.
I started the medication like 5 years ago, and the first time that I started it, I kind of got, to reading around and seeing things online, and I was like, maybe I'm having these side effects, and then Kevin Mann on his YouTube thing was like, look, just push through these side effects, don't talk yourself into them, stick to the plan, and you should be all right. And I was like, that's brilliant. And I did. I got to be honest, the first month I was on it, I think it was changing some things around a bit, and my body took like a month to get used to it.
It's very
there was
common.
some depression that I had from it, but I'm good now. I haven't had any issues 4 years later.
Just to be clear, most people who experience any adverse reactions initially, those reactions will be transient, meaning if they stay on the medication, their bodies will adjust, and it usually happens in a pretty short period of time, within a matter of a week or so. For some cases, like I felt like I was kicked in the balls for a while, but there was no one talking about it back then. Probably lasted on and off for me for maybe a couple of months when I first got on it. But I also started on 5 milligrams as opposed to the dosage for hair loss, which is 1. But yeah, listen, you sound like you're in a really good position. We're going to have to go because I have a meeting in about 10 minutes. I wouldn't rush into surgery if I were you.
Okay.
You've already been turned down twice. One quick question: do you think, or you haven't had surgery, right?
No, I've never.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. So, if you right now, when you look at yourself in the mirror, when you walk around, do you feel like if I was able to keep this head of hair, I'd be happy?
Yes. There's some areas that I'd like them to kind of even out. If I had surgery, my thoughts were, could I try a little bit of light FUE, fix the areas I'm concerned with, and let bygones be bygones, and, less
brother, once you're
invasive
cut, you're cut. There's no bygones. There's no bygones be bygones. Once you're cut, you open yourself up to a cornucopia of issues.
Ooh, good word.
So if you are able to live your life right now without surgery and you're doing well on medication, then you win, brother.
Yeah.
Do not have hair greed because you never know. You can be in the best hands and something can go wrong.
Did you hear the previous caller from Ohio? What he's going through?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
no, doctor, not related. It's like it can happen to anyone. Like every doctor out there that you've heard of that's really good at what they do has at least one patient that's just like this guy, where it didn't take or it didn't grow very well, and and then they made some decisions that just kind of exacerbated the issue. Every clinic has them. If they're good enough to have a reputation to be known, there's some eggs that were cracked along the way.
And I want to make this clear. It really does bug me that, again, I don't like the guy. I have to keep saying that because I don't benefit from saying this. But Haber is a good doctor. He really has done a lot of good for patients over the years, and honestly for the field. I personally think he's a jerk, but I find that it irritates me that people would try to sully his reputation as a surgeon. And I knew it. Every guy that's been on this other website for a long period of time gets effed at the end. It never fails. It's surprising it only took him 20 years before he got screwed.
Well, overall, his ROI was pretty good.
Yeah, but either way, he had great ROI.
That's good. Sorry, go ahead, caller.
No, I was going to say, so one quick last question.
I got 2 minutes.
If you have some hair shedding, even though you're on that, and you maybe noticing that you're losing some ground on medication, is there anybody like Joe or somebody like on your list that you would recommend that would work with you on other preventative ways besides just doing the surgery, like monitoring that, and how long would they monitor
all of them?
To see
every single one, every single doctor
like,
in the IAHRS has the ability to help you monitor your hair loss, your progress on medication, help you titrate medication, do miniaturization mapping, everything you need to closely monitor your situation.
I would say that actually, of the ones you mentioned, Jerry Cooley is probably the one that's better set up for that, because he's the one that introduced basically PRP to the industry, exosomes, higher standards with PRP. Like he's been the kind of guy that works with people on their donor hair, not just the transplant. Like to keep it healthy and the hair that they have. Like he was prescribing oral minoxidil, over 10 years ago, 15 years ago, before most other people were. And he's into that. So contact the clinic and say, look, this is where I am. Can you help me come up with some solutions to keeping what I have and improving it non-surgically? And they'll probably say yes.
All right, brother, listen, we got to go. I wish you the best of luck. We'll be here next week if you have any more questions, all right?
Yeah.
All right, thanks for your time, guys.
Take care.
All right, Drew. See you. I think it was Drew.
Guys, my Instagram, at Spencer Kobren. Joe's Instagram, I forgot it. Joe, what is it?
At Joe Tillman Official.
Like this broadcast. If you haven't subscribed to Joe's channel, subscribe. Until next time, be strong, God bless, and thank you so much for listening. Bye.
Thank you very much. I'm sorry for any inconvenience you may have been put to prior to the programme, and I'm glad you enjoyed it. And if you could now leave by the exits at the rear, that'd be splendid.